Someone else take it. I'm not doing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Drowning in Pools podcast, episode 72. Gamers are canceled, and there's nothing you can do.
There is nothing you can do. It's kind of just people need to stop being shit. I don't get how it's so hard not to be an asshole.
I don't know.
Looking at Deshaun, is it that hard to not be an asshole?
Not really.
Okay. All right, guys, you heard it from the biggest asshole himself.
It's super easy. It's like, I mean, well, you know what, man? When I look at some of the stuff that was being said by people, I'm like, maybe I'm not that much of an asshole.
Like, yeah.
Maybe I'm not trying hard enough.
Like, there's just so much shit. I'm just like, wait, why would you even think about doing something like that?
So Chris Avalon is like the writer of a bunch of games, and he's saying shit. He's just outright like DMing women, "I'm gonna eat your pussy," and he's like a 35-year-old man or some shit.
Oh, you know what? The worst part about it is that it works 1 out of like 90 times, and that's enough for some people.
Yeah, that's true. You just throw it out there, and sometimes it works, and then they can be like, "Yo, bro, it totally works." It's like, okay.
Yep. And then they go to those conventions where it's like, "Look, this is how you pick up chicks."
Yeah. Disgusting bullshit.
You lift with your legs and
just make sure you wear a mask.
Smash Bros is infested with fucking pedophiles and shit.
You know what? I want to know. Okay, I don't want to know, but it would be interesting to know how many people learned to play Smash just for that.
To fuck with kids?
Yeah, because I'm sure for a fact there's at least a good handful.
You know what? I do. There is crossover of the things, but I don't think it's because of somebody deliberately trying to get into it.
No.
Because Smash Bros is not something that's like.
it's not fucking watercoloring. Like,
It's not like a class you go to, you know, to go hit on some chick. You know, it's like a thing you have to get into, you know, especially if you're going to tournaments and shit.
Yeah.
I am
Like you have to actually want to do it.
I am kind of curious how many people were like pedophiles before though, and like how many kind of grew into it. You know?
Like while simultaneously being a Smash player.
Yeah, because there's that idea, I forget what it's called, but Game Theory talked about it a long time ago. But basically, the more time you spend around people, like the more you like them, essentially, for the most part.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I know the Smash community is more integrated as far as like ages are concerned, because you know it's fucking Smash, so everyone has access to it. But like, I'm curious how many people were like not necessarily pedophiles, but they just spent time with younger people and then found themselves attracted. Not that gives them an out. That's still wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say
just
either way,
mildly
it's fucked up.
curious.
Just out of pure curiosity, who
it's like
became
looking
such.
Yeah, like
it's like looking at it's like, okay, all analogies are gonna be bad. We're gonna throw that out
it's
right
like
now.
wanting to taste mercury. It's still fucking poisonous, but I'm mildly curious.
Well, I was gonna go with it's curious how how many accidents happen in airplanes versus car crashes, stuff like that.
It's like throwing a hungry cannibal in a room full of fat people just to see how quickly you can get through them. Yeah.
All analogies are going to be bad. You can't make light of the situation, but you kind of have to do something to get through this situation.
Well, it's one of those things where you can't make light of the situation in that you can't take away the gravity of it, but also most people don't have the proper life experience to deal with it.
That's also
it's
very
not
true.
death,
Yeah.
you know, like it's something that like it's just so out there for so many people, and like it's something that a lot of people are just like actively scared of, you know.
Yeah. No, I don't blame people. Like, I've heard so many people like, man, I want to go to tournaments, but I don't want any shit to happen. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. Just so much drama in the community lately, and I mean, it's because the shit's been bubbling under the surface for a long time.
Oh yeah.
But it's
And
like
it's finally hit the point where people are like,
Yeah.
"This is too much."
Yeah. When I hear about how people are like, I don't know, people in the community like knew it was happening, or you're like Sky Williams and you're basically the Jeffrey Epstein of fucking Smash Bros.
All right,
Like,
I don't know anything about that story.
Oh,
I heard
bro.
it, like it just happened,
It's-
like either yesterday or the day
I think
before.
I'm pretty sure the stuff mostly started coming out like this morning. Like it was happening
Yeah.
during the night, and he like had a stream at like super early this morning.
I've only seen the memes about the stream.
I have not
That's
seen
all I've
anything
seen.
about this.
Fucking
Okay, so Sky.
I'm not gonna get super into it, but basically
Yeah,
shit
just-
was going down under his roof that he claimed to not know about, but then somebody else was putting out, like somebody who was roommates with him was putting out stuff about how he's a tyrant about everything that goes on in the house, and basically there's no way he didn't know, and how he's crazy and abusive and all this shit, and people are like, yeah, he's an asshole, and I've always known he's an asshole, and there's that video of
I was gonna say.
Etika like basically calling him out and be like, yeah, he's a fucking asshole, fuck that guy, I don't trust that fucking guy. So yeah,
FGC is in a bad place right now. It's in a bad place.
I mean, good, because if it means this shit gets brought to light,
yes, yeah. It's better than it just being there, no one talking about it.
right? Yeah,
But
Like-
it's rough, man. It's rough.
and people like the fact that people like in the community weren't talking about it and shit they were just letting it happen. It's like baffling to me. Like I guess I'm lucky to be in a situation where I don't know of
Yeah.
anyone who's like that, who's been doing that shit to people, as far as I know.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I did know, my first move would be to tell somebody.
Like either tell somebody and then go to that person and go like, you're fucked.
I feel like I would start going nuts if I went around to other people and was telling them about this, and they were like, "Yeah, dude, I know," and I was like, and I would just be like, you didn't say anything, like you weren't gonna tell nobody.
You just sat there quietly and watched, like, man.
This dude's been diddling children. You weren't gonna say nothing.
so fucked, man. It's so fucked.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's because Smash is such a grassroots thing. I feel like it should have come out sooner.
Yeah,
Because it's not like there's that Harvey Weinstein shit or whatever the fuck his name was. Like, that came out in the movie industry, but he basically controlled everything, right?
yeah,
So it's like, it kind of makes sense that people weren't going to try to speak up because they didn't want to lose their jobs. But, like,
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Smash doesn't
money, and all
really
that
have
shit.
that. I mean, you had people who, like, dominated the scene, but that's just because they were good competitors.
So
Right.
so the issue is that since there is no like actual hierarchy for the thing, is that, so let's say if you're a small streamer and you have your small little fan base, right? And you go up to someone who's a bigger streamer and they're fucked up. But you're not that big, so even if you say anything, there's a scare that that bigger person could just say a couple things to a couple people and then everyone just ignores you now because you're not, like, no one knows your story.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
that still doesn't, like, end your career, though. I mean, it can if you bring up shit, but, like, especially if you're right, like...
Well, yeah, the thing is that there, without receipts, so like, yeah, without receipts, you can't explain your side of the story
Yeah.
without a wave of people just denying you.
But
Because-
at that point, I would just be like, well,
This
all
is
right,
it.
guys, call me wrong if you want to, but I know it happened. I saw it happen, and I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
yeah.
fucking let up on this until fucking you guys know it happened too, right? Like,
Yeah, but not everyone has your confidence, though, Deshaun.
that's true.
No, I agree with him, though. Like,
the industry is full of a bunch of fucking.
if for nothing else,
nerds.
that to say, like, hey, I've been trying to push this for years, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like,
Right.
there's one thing to be, like, a passive person and, like, kind of don't ask, don't tell kind of about it, but, like, if you actively, or if you know about it, and you're actively like, hey, this shit's been going on for years, I've been trying to tell you, you know,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
not only does that cover your ass, but, like, also you're trying to do what you can. And sometimes, yeah, you're small.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if, you know, something happened at fucking, I don't know, a tournament that we went to, like, we don't have any clout. But, like, if we're trying to push it,
Yeah.
at least we are trying something. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
It's,
I know it's just me being an asshole, but if I caught like one of these dudes at an event and they're still walking around like they didn't do nothing, I'd be like, "Hey guys, did you know this guy likes to fuck kids? Did you know this?" I would be telling that to everybody. I would have a nice big smile on my face and say, "Hey, did you guys know he likes to fuck kids?" And nobody's talking about it. Did you know that this guy over here knew and he's known for like 2 years and said nothing about it?
oh man.
Just
yeah. No, I get it.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's because I'm so willing to just burn everything down and just throw everything away. Like the idea that Evo might not even come back is not like bad to me. I don't care.
Look, honestly, another tournament can take over Evo. Like that's not a worry. There's a bunch of big tournaments now that you don't have to worry about Evo being the biggest one.
Yeah. Same way AEW is taking up WWE space.
Yeah.
Some other tournament can take up Evo space. And that can be the one everybody respects.
I was going to say, on top of that, a lot of companies are just doing their own cups now.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is, of course, not as big as Evo because Evo's been around for so long. But
and those also have their own problems, like the Samurai Showdown Cup that had
had all
I think like the top 6 people were all from China because they had tournaments in China or whatever the fuck. Like they were only in China.
Yeah, I was going to say the Samurai Showdown was an issue just because of the way they weighed the brackets, basically.
Yeah.
So they had most of the big tournaments were in China, and then there was the online tournament, which would bring one person over, and there was a lot of problems.
There's a lot of fuckery, and clearly because SNK is now owned by a Chinese company, they were trying to get more Chinese people into the fucking tournament, whatever.
But, I mean, like you could at that point you should have just called it a national or a what's it called
national tournament.
Is it national? Yeah,
national?
Is it a national? Yeah, national tournament, not a world tournament.
Yeah.
The U.S. is kings of national tournaments being called world championships, though. So
Hell yeah, World Series, baby.
Yeah, I was just like, this always confused me because I'm like, the funniest thing for me that happened was the NBA. I didn't realize there was a Canadian team in the NBA.
Oh yeah.
For the long, like I was like, wait, isn't Toronto in Canada? That was a forehead slap moment where I was just like, right.
I think Toronto is like the one exception, but there's like weird shit about that. I can't remember what it is though.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Canada because I don't care.
I don't know much about it either, but
yeah, bummer though about the Smash community. I'm sure they'll be fine.
Bummer about the SGC community too. Bummer about Wreckful.
yeah, hard rip.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I never really watched any of his shit, but it's never good when someone dies like that. So
no, I had 2 friends that were really big fans of his, and they're like pretty devastated. So it's rough.
yeah.
This is a rough little moment for the gaming community as a whole, because
Gamers getting canceled.
yeah.
I will say all this stuff,
Dr. Disrespect getting his channel deleted for no fucking reason,
which we still don't have. We still don't have a reason for. Like that's the worst part is that Twitch should have at the very least explained, like had a reason, right? We should have like at the very least like some fucking reason because it's just been dead. It's just nothing.
I was gonna say the only thing I can think of is that they canceled it and then now they're in legal process. And that's why they can't talk about it.
Well, they should be able to, as a company, say, like, hey, our terms of service were violated. That needs to be at least stated. Yeah. Like, you don't need to be specific.
What the rule was that he broke that was so bad that he had to be banned.
Like, it doesn't even need to be that specific. But, like, just say, like, hey, this is the general thing that happened. And then, like, have it later. And we're all going to put it through hell of scrutiny anyway, but, like...
But, like, the weird secrecy... Like, the fact that there's been no statement or anything is, like, it's suspicious, so... And,
like, his wife is still streaming, right?
I'm not sure.
Girlfriend or whatever. I don't know much about Dr. Disrespect.
Me neither. I don't really like him.
I had a roommate who used to watch him a lot. All I know about him a lot is that he's not really funny, just that he's a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I get that's his thing, but, like, I'm just not that interested.
I just assume he's the guy with the glasses. That's all I know him as.
I know somebody shot at his house, and there was a big deal about that.
Yeah.
But, Maybe.
I mean, come on,
I
it's
don't
just a
know.
drive-by, bro. Like, deal with it.
I think he just pissed somebody off at Twitch because he is that type of incendiary type of dude. He probably said some shit in an email somewhere or something, and it was like, I can do whatever the fuck I want, and you'll do nothing. And they were like, okay, we'll do nothing, huh? And they shut down his fucking channel.
It's like
I think if that was the case, we would have already heard about it, because that is just legally not possible. Like, Twitch technically has the ability to revoke the privilege of streaming, but they don't have the ability to revoke it for any reason. So, like, especially if you do something in correspondence like that, you don't, like, Twitch does not have the ability to take away your channel like that unless you threaten them. So,
which is why they haven't said anything, because
I'm sure
they're trying to find a good reason.
Yeah.
They're trying to make up a good reason.
Because
he's already done shit where he's streamed in places it's illegal to stream. You know, he's streaming in bathrooms and shit, and that was totally fine. Twitch didn't give a fuck about that, right?
3-day ban, baby.
They banned, I was gonna say they banned him for a little bit, but
yeah, I mean,
which is nothing. That's like a federal law that you can't record in fucking bathrooms and shit.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, like you probably should have gotten banned.
They give him 3 days. That's nothing. That's a vacation. That's a 3-day weekend for him. But anyway, no, I'm suspicious of Twitch because Twitch is they've been fucking you for the last couple of years. So,
and on top of that, they have their favorites. They definitely
obviously
they all play to their favorites.
Oh yeah.
I'm just confused, because if it was really something like that, we would have heard something from Doc, right? Like, where he's like, yeah, I sent this email and then I got banned. Like,
yeah. Well, he doesn't know, because that's what he says. He says he has no idea why he got banned.
Exactly. So
I honestly think there's a lawyer battle going on, and that we have to wait until.
I'm pretty sure everyone who should know knows more than they're telling us.
Yeah.
You know,
anybody who should know knows plenty, and they won't say anything.
There's other stuff behind the scenes going on.
Yeah, I'm my guess is that it's something to do with some sort of same thing as everything that's going on right now, but not maybe to the extent.
I was gonna say the same thing. I bet it's gonna be, but I think it's gonna be kind of worse. I think that's why it's why nothing's being said.
I think it's going to be worse, but not in the usual way of, worse.
Because
maybe he banged 2 kids at once.
Because here's the deal: with things like this, usually everyone starts out on one guy's side because they don't know what's going on. Like the Mick Gordon situation recently, where everybody was on his side about not doing more music for Doom because they just assumed Bethesda fucked him over, and then come to find out, it was on his end. Dr. Disrespect probably did something that Twitch knows about, and that's why they got rid of him. And they're like, we need to be careful about how we go about this, because
yeah. I was gonna say my big brain conspiracy. It has to do with Galaxy Brain. It has to do with someone committing suicide, and then him being the quote unquote cause of it.
I never understood that shit. I never understood, like, unless someone, like, pushes you off a building or something, they're not the cause of your suicide. And speaking as someone who has literally tried to kill himself, they're not the cause of your suicide.
I was going to say, the only time I say, like, it would be actually your fault is if there's someone who's constantly telling you to do it. And that is a different sense.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, unless he comes out and, like, somebody was like, yeah, I'm having a really difficult time, and he's like, oh yeah, you should just kill yourself, and, like, forcibly, like, tell him to do that. But, like, it's one of those weird issues where, like, I don't want to tell people to get the fuck over it, but, like, get the fuck over it, because, like,
damn, you sound like me, dog.
Well,
yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like no one can help you but yourself, and if you let yourself keep getting hurt, and I know it's fucking hard, but, like, if you let yourself keep getting hurt, you're just never gonna get over it. You have to learn to just stand the fuck up.
Put on your alt-right hats on for a second. So we live in a victim culture. We do. Everybody wants to be the saddest guy around so they can get all the attention, they can get all the pity. So
born with glass bones.
Paper skin. What were you say?
What were you say? I break my bones every day when I wake up in the morning. But what was I getting at? I
were-
I got lost in the
Sorry.
funny. I got lost in the jokes. Shit.
You're talking about we live in a victim culture and that everybody wants to be
So they don't teach you. They don't tell anybody to get over it anymore. They don't tell you to toughen up and deal with it anymore. They're just like, oh, go cry onto my shoulder, and then don't get over it.
Everyone's a winner, and
Let-
if you're not, become a winner.
Let words hurt you, and let other people's opinions bother you all the time. Be concerned with what everybody else thinks all the time, instead of just doing your own thing and not giving a shit. And seeing and laughing at when somebody is like a bigot or something, or laughing when somebody tries to fuck with you, or just not like. Everybody is so fucking soft all the time now about everything, and it's one thing to see injustice and be like, we need to stand against that, and it's another thing to be like, somebody said a mean
injustice.
word, so let's get him fired from his job, and let's make sure he can never work again, and all this other shit. It's like, come on,
there's
dog.
a difference between opinion and actual injustice,
Yeah.
but that's a fine line, and it's hard to find sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I disagree that like being able to express yourself and like crying and stuff is bad. I don't think it is, and I think it's a lot healthier to do that. But
It's not healthy to cry literally all the time about everything always.
yeah, I agree with that too. But
That's what I'm talking
It is
about.
one of those things where you like I feel so like out in the open essentially because I did a ton of bad shit when I was a teenager, right? Like when I was still a kid, I was a terrible, manipulative, like piece of shit person. I'm still a piece of shit person. I'm just like less so.
Just
now,
all those
right?
other things are not,
Like someone could do some I luckily most of the people that I manipulated were my friends, but like some of the shit that I did with them was just really, really not cool, and like could have ended up on something like this, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's like I'm always scared that like I'm a better person now. I wouldn't do that, but like someone could pop that up, you know. And at the same time, like fuck, sometimes you just gotta move, you know. Like
sometimes, man, you just can't leave any victims. Can't leave any witnesses.
yeah. Well, it's like it's one of those things where I feel bad now.
Yeah.
And it seems like most people that I know don't really think too much about it, which I got lucky. But like,
They're like, don't worry, man. I went to counseling for that time you sold my kidneys.
yeah, pretty much. But like, I don't know. It's one of those things where I think it's good to like allow for emotional vulnerability, especially for guys, because that's just not.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like, at the same time,
But you should also allow a person to not express that if they choose not to.
and
There's a weird sentiment going around that because some men choose not to, there's a problem. Not everybody needs to be all emotional and
okay. Yeah, I was gonna
sad
say
all the fucking time.
I'm going to be the middleman here and be like, look, everything's okay. It is okay to cry. It is okay not to cry.
No,
It's
Cameron,
okay-
it's okay to do things in moderation and understand that growth is a part of the process.
yeah, the point I was trying to build to was that because I was a very deplorable person, I got picked on a lot, and like, yeah, you know, shit hurts, but like, you need to get picked on, and we've talked about this before. You need to build up some fucking thick skin because there are going to be people, and these are going to be people who genuinely are successful who don't give a flying fuck about your feelings. And sometimes it's not even because they hate you. Sometimes it's just because they have drive, you know. And like,
It's like, okay. Sorry. I was going to say, it's okay to have thick skin. Just don't become crispy and crackly like a Sith.
yeah, well, like I said, I still cry a lot, you know. I still have a lot of feelings. It helps me write music, but at the same time, like if someone calls me a faggot, which has happened recently, like fuck them, you know. Like I'll beat the shit out of you. Like I don't give a fuck.
That word is just funny to me at this point. Every time I hear it, I'm just like, it's in the stupidest sense, and I'm just like, cool, dude. Thanks.
Yeah, like
Dude.
somebody called me that because I was wearing pink and I dyed my hair pink, and I'm like,
we didn't
go fuck yourself. Like,
because we didn't really grow up with the context of it being like, oh, you're gay, so you're a faggot. We grew up with like, oh, you're annoying and stupid,
so you're a faggot. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and then like the always your defense is someone a bundle of sticks. Got it.
Well, it's like the same thing as like retarded, right? Like
Yeah.
retarded obviously is an actual like medical word, but the way that I grew up
Yeah.
using it, and the way that it was used when I was like forming my original like stuff was stupid. Like
Yeah, it's
really, really stupid.
And now,
dumb.
and it's evolved out of the medical context where they don't even really use it in the medical world anymore, but people use it to mean stupid.
Yeah, it's just moved on from that kind of stuff. And like obviously I try to fall away from using that one as much because it is like
yeah.
you know.
I always thought saying the full, like saying retarded as the full word was just the joke part. If you want to be like the non-joke part, you would say Riri.
I think I have to go now. I can't.
Like whenever I heard it, like, or you're trying to be mean with it,
See,
I'd hear it that way.
To me, no, dude. To me, if you're really trying to be like spiteful about that kind of thing, you wouldn't say retarded. You would say like useless piece of garbage or stupid dumb fuck or something like that. You wouldn't call them retarded because the context of retarded has changed so much that it's just like saying something stupid or dumb.
Yeah, I was gonna say like most of the time when you said that, it wasn't like you're actually mentally handicapped. It was like, wow, that thing you're doing is so unbelievably stupid.
Yeah.
So
it's like it's like when you call something cartoonish. It's like it's so extreme and ridiculous that it enters into this territory of being this thing, you know?
Yeah. But society's changed, and that we just don't use that word, and it's good.
I hate when people call it the R word though.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It's so fucking stupid. Like,
yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
Like, I'm down for like saying the phrase the N word because you know
there's the N word and then there's the F word.
Yeah, but which one? Fuck or faggot?
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it depends on the context. If you're in a context where you can freely say fuck, then the F word is probably faggot.
But like, the point is, like, unless it's a word that's literally handicapping our society, just fucking say it. Unless you're on kids, you know?
Yeah. Obviously, you got to put that filter up.
Yeah, but like the other thing that pisses me off is when people say the C word. I'm just like, so you're a useless cunt too. All right, cool. Like,
can't understand normal thinking.
It's one of those words that like that and faggot, both of them, I've started to use more often because they just taken all meaning from me. And like, I didn't grow up with, like you said, I didn't grow up with faggot as a gay thing. It was just you're being like a douche essentially.
Yeah.
And it was the hardest hitting word I could think of. Now I use cunt a lot more because
I was gonna say I'm still just gonna shy away from the F one, but that's fine.
Well, I mean, like, I understand that it has been like troublesome for a lot of people, but like, I can say cunt freely because the only people who get offended by me calling them a cunt are cunts. Like, that's just
yeah, because you know what? There more women say cunt than I think anybody else on the fucking planet.
Just stay away from Karens.
Well, it's like, dude, if Karen walks up to me, I'm calling her a cunt to her face, like straight up. Unless I'm on the clock, like, bitch is a cunt, like. But
you know, dude, I never have that much problem with Karens because usually Karens just want to fuck me, so they don't really bother me too much.
Yo, Karen's just like my smile. We're good there.
I like to bully their kids.
But I have seen them trip out on people and be annoying as fuck, so I do know why people hate them, and I do dislike them as well.
Yeah,
I've never had issues with anybody that I knew the answers to.
Mm-hmm.
I've had people like that I've had issues with even when I give them the correct answer. Because it wasn't the answer that they wanted to hear, and I was the authority figure. That happened a lot at Disney with people wanting to hear an answer, and I'm like, well, that's just not how it is. And they're like, but I want it to be like that. I'm like, well, go fucking find a genie. Like, good luck.
Hey, Aladdin's castle's that way.
What was I gonna say? Something about cunts. No, whatever. Oh, fucking America's the only place that really gives a shit. Britain uses it all the damn time.
Oh yeah.
Like,
they use it in Australia too. Australia,
New Zealand, like, it's just
the giant spiders.
It's way more common in anywhere that's not America. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know.
America's values are really fucked up and weird.
Yeah, fucking.
But I guess you could say that for everywhere because everybody's context is different. But like America is like, yeah, violence is awesome, killing everyone you know and burning down their home and destroying every other country on the planet is totally fine. But
mutilation,
sex and swearing and doing drugs, those are all bad.
Well, it's like doing drugs I can kind of get behind, but like, yeah, sex and swearing. Like, come on.
Nah, do more drugs.
One of those is literally natural, and the other is sex. Like,
One just feels really good, and the other one is sex.
Yeah. No, but like as humans, the very least you can say is that we were put on this earth to literally grow up, fuck, and then die, right? Like that is what we were meant to do.
That's the animalistic nature.
Yeah. So it's like, why are we ever gonna like put this buffer on sex? Like it's just something that's so taboo. It shouldn't be. It's literally our biological, like, well, not everybody, but like it's our biological like function, and then we just fucking die.
The person who got in power couldn't get none, so he's like, fuck it. If I can't get none, you guys shouldn't be okay with getting in.
Usually it's the opposite. Usually the person gets too much and they're insane about it, and they realize they're insane about it, so they make laws that everybody else has to follow.
I want to be the only one who gets some.
I kind of want to become the president in like 10 years to just completely overhaul the FCC.
The FCC won't let me be me, so let me...
Pretty much, man. Like, go Slim Shady up on that bitch. I don't know. I
want to become president in 10 years so I can usher in the apocalypse.
I'd vote for you.
Deshaun, I just imagine you making like changes to the infrastructure, and you make like this entire pentagram in the middle of America without anybody realizing.
Yeah, I would make America an absolute paradise. I would give everybody what they wanted, and then in like 6 years, the entire planet would be destroyed, and America would be the place where Satan himself rises from the ground and takes over.
I mean,
you're the one who says when the demons take over, put down your equipment so they don't break it.
Yeah, that's totally me. Put down your shit so it doesn't get broken while the demons rip you to pieces.
And say thank you as they do.
Thank you. Don't run. You might piss them off. And make it way worse for yourself.
I don't know. I just... It annoys me. Like...
Yeah.
It's understandably to get annoyed by that.
Well, what annoys me most, and getting back to the original like topic, is that there's this kind of like hush-hush about like anything about that, and that includes this kind of shit where people are, fucking grooming kids and shit.
That's
it's
fucked up.
It's fucking
It's like people get mad at you for saying faggot or whatever, but then the people who aren't saying faggot are going around with Jeffrey Epstein houses and grooming children and doing all of that other fucked up shit. Is the people who are like hiding it, who seem to be raging against it the most, who are the ones who always end up being like the most awful perpetrators of the shit. They're always like the worst ones.
It is. Yeah. It's just fuck, man.
The world's a fucking disaster. Like,
are you just figuring this out?
No. Well,
because here's my other stance on this. Everybody else is acting like this is the worst thing ever. I'm like, yeah, this is par for the course. I already knew the world was kind of like this, so I don't know why everybody's so shocked.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's just, look, you have to understand is that the internet that I explore is very tame. Very, very tame.
That's true. I was going to some pretty dark places when I was like 13. So.
Yeah,
like
dude, 4chan,
anytime.
Oh, I mean, 4chan is where you start, right?
Anytime that I was like, man, this is getting really weird, I just go, fuck it, back to stick page I go.
I will say,
I think I hit the range enough to where I was like, all right, I'm hitting up, CartoonNetwork.com, and also I'm on the X board on 4chan,
Yeah, it is one of those things where I don't like how PC internet culture is becoming. I think it's just ridiculous. Because people are not PC. Just in general.
Not naturally, no.
No, it's
but
like,
when you've got like this loud majority of people browbeating everyone online, you're like, all right, I'm just gonna tiptoe around these motherfuckers so I don't gotta hear it.
It's ridiculous. Like even in office settings or whatever, like people fucking curse. Like they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous. The people are like, we need to be PC for the kids. The kids are the ones starting it, dumbass. Like,
yeah.
When did people start cursing? Like 2nd grade? If they're old enough to work a tablet, they're old enough to hear fuck. Like, I don't know. I just
you know what, man? There's never any attempt to teach anyone. It's always just immediate shame.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that's the worst part is that they just attack. Like there's no like there's no construction.
So now that person is like, all right, well now I really do hate faggots.
Yeah.
Because y'all are annoying. And like it becomes like the person you could have convinced to be less of an asshole about a thing is now like even dug even deeper into their bullshit, you know. So now they're more of an asshole because you couldn't just try to teach them a little, you know.
Well, the thing I hate the most is that there's just this insane like slapback on the internet, but it doesn't last.
It really doesn't.
Like, oh god, I forget who the fuck was I was thinking of, but there was some fucking like board member or something of a video game company that said something ridiculous and was like fired for it, and you know, he made an apology like, I'm sorry, and then like now he's at another fucking huge ass company. Like,
yeah,
there's nothing, you know.
There's no real like punishment.
Yeah,
you know, there's no like it. All it really ends up being is the person gave a fake apology, or they became more of an asshole, and then they went on to make even more money for whatever reason.
And like,
you know,
I don't think that like one thing that you do should define you, unless that one thing is like really defining, you know.
like you have CP on a flash drive that you just left at a medieval fair.
Yeah, or like you murder a man in cold blood and it's caught on film, like, or you just murder a man in cold blood at all. But like
Todd Howard.
Did it ever come out that that person was underage?
What?
The person on the video.
For what? For the Randy Pitchford thing?
Yeah.
I'm not sure actually.
Because that makes a huge difference, but also
because
I think
he was the one saying that the person was not actually underage, so
yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, so
but if she was like young enough that people were like doubting it, and
yeah,
you know,
it was what I think it was like the barely legal thing or whatever the fuck
right,
it was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but the thing is, the issue with it is not the fact that the age issue, because obviously if it's the age issue, then that's fucked. But if it's not, the thing is he phrased it like so badly. Oh, it's magic. It has to be magic. I gotta figure this. No, no.
Yeah, the dude, Randy Pitchford is one of those guys who should probably never work in video games again. Not even just because he's a fucking sicko, gross piece of shit, but because he also literally steals from companies and people and shit. And he'll lie to get a game made. he'll lie about working on one game to get funding for another game, and then he'll have some other company work on that other game he's supposed to work on.
And then he lies to his voice actors about jobs and stuff. And
yeah,
good job. Just try to keep all the money for yourself while everybody sees you hoarding the money for yourself.
That's the kind of world I would probably run in. Even if nothing else changes, I want real punishments for the people who fuck over their employees and who fuck over just the industry in general, you know?
Yeah.
I want them to just be gone from the industry forever. So whenever you get people like, what's her fucking name? Zoe Quinn, who completely uproots the entire fucking industry and community over some bullshit. When you get journalists who are lying about shit and writing fucking bullshit ass articles that mean nothing,
stealing articles,
or you get CEOs who are or like directors of games who are like crunching their staff to fucking death. You know, those people should just never work in the industry again. They should just be ostracized forever. That, because there's no teaching that. You know, there's no unteaching them to not be a piece of shit like that. You know, you can only never give them power again. That's like, you know, the people doing this shit are always old enough to know that they shouldn't be doing it. They're just greedy and they're selfish and they're borderline evil. You know, so
yeah.
What a cherry week.
I know, like this, like I'm trying to make as many jokes as I can because it sucks.
All right, well let's make this suck a little bit more. Did anybody see that tweet from the C9? I think it's the staff manager about like people using the policeman Volibear skin in LCS and her being upset about it. All right, let me see if I can pull it up. But basically, like, so the policeman Volibear skin is it apparently has like cleaner animations essentially. So it's just beneficial to use, right? And so like there was this tweet from one of the like managers of C9 or whatever, that she was upset that let's see if I can go top of this week, that people were using like the police thing and just like, I don't remember if she said it was racist, but it was like really bad essentially. And I don't know. Okay, hold on here. I'll post the Reddit link for you guys.
We'll get there.
But like it's just one of those things that was like, if it was actually something like, I thought somebody had said something racist and I'm like, oh, this will be good. But like it's literally just the fucking here, I can actually read the tweet here.
Go for it.
The one non-C9 game I watched, there is always a police follow bearskin. Hello, esports Twitter, where are you now? Hello, managers, who are so quick to join on hashtags. You were too afraid to manage your players. Do we need to at players calling them racist? This is beyond. And then there's a secondary part of it. Like, I do not understand. I'm so frustrated with our space. So, no. Like, and like, isn't it just like players, like regular people talking about, like the animations being better? It's literally pro players being like, yeah, the animations are just strictly better on this skin, you know? But it does kind of like, it is an interesting thought, I guess, that like using a skin like that would be considered racist, you know? I don't know, like I think it goes a little bit too far.
I don't know. I don't think about it that much, so
It's just like, it's one of those fucking things where I get it. I get the idea of where she's coming from, but I think it's so fucking back-ass sideways, like, that it just doesn't make sense, you know?
Yeah.
But like, with all this shit going on, I think there's very few people who are not strictly, like, hard siding with the police that say, like, oh, there's nothing wrong. Like, obviously something's fucking wrong, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, also, and I'm down to be like the only person who feels this way and is able to say it, like, the police are a necessary evil. I don't want them to be racist, but like, we need police, you know?
yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say on this topic.
They just need to be
Yeah. Okay. I was like, was there more to that? Okay. No.
No, like,
yeah, you're
like, it's fucking terrible, and we do need to revamp shit. But like, we can't just say, like, I hate the analogy of,
I got the title for the podcast. The title for the podcast is accountability. That's good enough
for now, yeah. But like,
for now.
It is one of those things where, like, I don't agree with people saying that all police are bad. But at the same time, there's definitely something fundamentally wrong with the police system.
All right, Mr. All Lives Matter over here. Let's move on. No, I'm joking.
I mean, all lives do matter, but Black Lives Matter because all
wrong
lives matter.
answer. Wrong answer.
No,
Moving
it's
on.
not.
All lives matter in the general sense.
Yeah, but like,
we ain't
it's-
talking about all lives here.
Yeah,
It's the story versus the what's it called? It's fuck. Get my words together. It's the story versus the idea.
yeah. Like,
The story is that Black Lives Matter, and that's the important part right now. The idea is that all lives matter, but that doesn't matter if Black lives don't matter.
like that's what I've been so fucking confused about. It's like, of course Black Lives Matter. Like, I've had this idea, and I'm sure it's been said elsewhere, but like, Black Lives Matter because all lives matter, right? We should give a shit. It's so stupid to me that all lives matter is like the response to Black Lives Matter. It's so fucking dumb.
It makes no sense that that's the response. It's like, no, you guys are missing the point. You're just missing
exactly.
the point.
It's just people just missing the point. Either missing the point or like intentionally just not refusing to get the point.
Yeah.
So I've seen that too, where you literally just explain this shit to them and they're like, nah, but what about this though? And it's like, no, you fuck.
Yeah.
You fucking idiots. But
well, it's like even if
that's when I start to lose my patience.
it's so dumb to me because like even just looking at the statistics, it's like of course like the narrative is whatever, but just like looking at the statistics, black people just end up dead way more often when the police are involved, and that's just not okay. Well, it's asterisk. It's not okay in so many of the situations that we've seen. Like if they're robbing a bank and they're armed and they happen to be black and they get shot, If they're robbing a bank and they're armed and they happen to be white and they get shot, But like fucking people get shot like getting out of a car or like standing. It's so ridiculous.
Or like sneezing.
Yeah. Or like there was that fucking Facebook video from a couple years ago where the dude was armed legally, had a permit and everything. He told the cop, "Hey, I have a gun. I just don't want you to think I'm reaching for it. I'm grabbing my wallet." And the cop shot him. Like he did everything right and he still ended up dead. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Which is
And
but,
it's like,
it would be, it's the way the cops hire people. It's the way the cops run their shit. It's the way they train people.
Trained.
It's bad.
It's just like an overhaul needs to happen. It's just so dumb.
Also, there's a bunch of white supremacists sneaking into the police departments all across America. So get ready for a civil war, because motherfuckers gonna die. Anyway.
Sorry, I had a cough.
I'm down with white supremacists dying. Let's be real. But like,
yeah, me too. But you know what, man? I don't want it to turn into cartoonishly stupid shit where people are like, go sucker punch a Nazi. Because a lot of these motherfuckers think everyone is a Nazi. Anybody with a fucking little bit of a differing idea is some kind of Nazi.
Yeah.
Which is... And being like, let's just punch them. Let's knock them out, even though they're just some dipshit yelling on the street or typing a mean tweet or some shit. Anyway.
Yeah,
let's knock them out. Let's just go beat them up. Says the fucking... dork-ass loser who can barely step outside without shaking in their fucking boots.
5'9", 90 pounds.
I'd love to see you fucking throw a punch, you fucking pussy.
Well, it's like, and it is, because I try to stay moderate on most things, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I try to aggregate all of the information before I make a decision. And, like, I have friends and mentors who were cops and were great people. Still are, right? Mm-hmm. And I know it is a stressful job. Like, that is a job where your life is on the line. So I understand the stress, but at the same time, something is fundamentally wrong, right? Like, I can just admit that.
Well, and at the same time, cops are held to a higher standard because they have a job where they know that's the fucking risk. They know that shit's gonna happen, Like, it's tough to give them that excuse when it's not like it's a secret that being a cop sucks. It's not like it's a secret that it's a hard job. It's a hard job. You shouldn't be a cop if you want it to be an easy job.
I agree.
It shouldn't be a complaint. It's like being a boxer and complaining about getting punched. You can't. Like, the risk. You know what the deal is.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I feel. Is like, I know it's stressful and I know that stress changes shit. Like, I've been shot before. Shit sucks. But like, and I didn't know the risk of going outside that day. But like, and like, I know how stressful it is to make those decisions. But like, that's your fucking job, And if we're having so many issues of this, something is just legitimately fundamentally wrong. Mm-hmm. And that's like the point I want to get across. It's like something is obviously fundamentally wrong that this keeps happening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm sure somebody's going to call me racist because of it.
Is any of it going to change, though?
I mean,
that's the real question.
I certainly hope so.
As of right now, it seems like there's slow progress to change, but change is coming.
Man,
but
they've been saying that shit since Abe freed the slaves.
Exactly.
I always hate the idea that people are like, we gotta play within the system, we gotta do it their way, and we'll be able to overcome one day. And it's like, nigga, we've been overcoming for fucking 300 years. When is our time, dog? Oh well. I don't know, man. I used to be very Malcolm X about this thing. I think I kind of still am, but I used to be very much more militant about this kind of thing. I was very excited when I saw those black people armed and walking down the street. That's what I like to see, but I don't know, man.
You like progressive or not? What's the term for it? Change that happens rapidly.
I like change that happens effectively.
Effectively, okay.
Because it seems that all the change, that slow progress we keep trying to tout as being the one way we're going to be able to succeed, seems to kind of not fucking work, and it kind of seems to get undone every time we take 2 steps forward. We take 5 back because we keep trying to play their game.
Yeah, for the most part, it's gonna have to change with generations of kids being taught that. I think that's one of the big things is that a lot of generations teach their young that hey, just don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yeah, but that sucks, and that can go fucking haywire any second.
Yeah.
Why can't we just do it now? We know it sucks now. We don't need yet another generation to grow up and be like, well, we tried. Hopefully, the next generation can do it.
I mean, America's been
how many
doing
times?
that for
How many
300
times
years.
can we? Yeah, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like how long can we keep putting it off?
The inevitable.
We ain't got much time left. The window to fix the climate shit is closing.
It's gone, bro.
Rapidly.
No, that shit is just gone. Our planet is fucked unless we nuke each other.
That's what I mean. Everybody join me on the cynical nihilist train and just stop giving a fuck. Laugh when you see something horrible happen. That guy's being a racist. It's hilarious. That person's being too PC. You can't stop slapping your knee. You can't breathe. It's fucking unbelievably funny. All this shit happening is funny in a cosmic sort of way. Just let go and just embrace the insanity. Kanye West running for president.
I can't believe that's real. I actually
throwing
cannot believe
a wrench in the works. He said he was gonna do it. I didn't believe him.
I didn't.
Here we are.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Nah, dude, it's Jesus.
All right, you know what? Video games, motherfucker. I've been playing video games.
Me too. I played some video games. I watched some kung fu movies. I did some other stuff that I
watched the
actually
new
enjoyed.
anime. It's okay. I think it
called?
might be good, but it also may be shit. I don't know yet.
What is it?
It's called Misfits of the something. Give me one.
Oh, it's in the pull docket.
You put it in the
Misfits of the Demon Academy.
Yeah,
Demon King
Misfit
Academy.
of the Demon King Academy. So far, okay. So, there's no spoilers. 'Cause I've only seen episode 1. I'm gonna spoil episode 1. So if you haven't watched it yet, you're gonna figure out real quick. It's
wait, okay, hold on. Is this Moe blob shit? Is this typical anime looking shit?
I don't know yet.
It sounds like it.
I
mean art style.
Oh yeah, it's typical new anime style. So it's not it looks like it's one of those animes that's kind of pumped out, but the concept of it so far could go places, or it could just fall flat, and that's what I'm worried about. But my friend he's reading the manga, and he says it doesn't fall flat for a little while, so at least for where he's at right now, it hasn't fallen flat.
But he reads the manga. He might be a diehard. You never know. He might just be a fan with bias telling you to read a series he likes.
I told him I'm not reading it, so fuck off. But so within the first 5 minutes, you know exactly who the main character is.
Square Enix.
What?
The manga is published by Square Enix?
Is it really?
Yeah.
They have a publishing side?
I didn't. What?
Yeah, because I think they published the.
The Kingdom Hearts stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but regardless, so the main character is a demon reborn from 2,000 years ago. He's the Demon King, and he gets reborn because he got defeated. He's going to get reborn in 2,000 years. So his descendants create a whole religion / school / whatever you want to call it dedicated to him. And then he comes back.
Okay, hold on. Here's the full title. The Misfit of Demon King Academy. History's strongest demon king reincarnates and goes to school with his descendants.
Yep.
That's how I want to die.
So
it just tells you the plot.
Yeah, it just tells you the premise. No spoiler, but so the first scene of the show, it's a 1v1, and whoever wins gets accepted into the school, right? Mm-hmm. And he goes up against this noble who's a direct descendant from his people, or from his loins, and he murders the dude and then reses him, and then murders the dude and then reses him. And he's like, look, I can beat you so easily that I'm going to win this, but I promise you I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to make you give up on your own. So he kills the guy, reses him the first time. He's like, so, how'd it feel dying for the first time? And the guy's just sitting there in complete shock, and he's like, well, this joke usually lands. All right, well, I'll just murder you again. He just murders the guy. But yeah, so I like the take they have on the Demon King, because he seems to be this guy who, unlike just being, oh yeah, Satan, bad dude, blah blah blah, he's like, yo, I love my people and I fucking hate everybody else. So I'm gonna take care of my people and fuck everybody else.
Sounds like a Gary stew.
What's a Gary stew? Is it a Mary
Man,
Sue?
I'm
But
so perfect. I'm overpowered, and I love everybody, and definitely not just some creator insert.
yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's just a creative
Yeah,
insert.
dude. That's what these animes that are fucking just pumped out as somebody's assholes all look like. That's what they're all like.
Yeah.
They're all just
So-
like creator self-insert shit where the dude has like 8 girlfriends or something, and he's just so unbeatable.
Yeah. So
I don't watch this shit anymore. That's why I hate anime.
yeah. So far, I really just want to go. I just really want to know if they actually go into the philosophy of some of this stuff, or if they're just gonna keep it like base, just standard.
Cameron, guess what?
It's gonna be base standard
Yeah.
bullshit. I know, but like I just want a show to go deep into philosophy for a little bit, because
Look,
those are my favorite.
This sounds shallow as fuck, but here's the deal. Usually a series that's interesting or worth a fuck comes with an art style that's interesting or worth
you're
a
not.
fuck.
You are right. Yeah.
You know, that's why like
Gurren Lagann.
so that's why stuff like Naruto, that it starts out kind of interesting looking and then ends up kind of just basic looking,
Yeah.
kind of like the story of Naruto.
Yeah.
You know,
I would have rather liked that story if they kept the magical nature like they originally wanted it.
well, that's how kind of every series ends up, where the magic stuff gets beat up by the science stuff, because as time goes on, we start to understand it more.
Well,
and
no,
now that we understand it, it's not magic.
Originally, it was supposed to be a Magic Academy versus ninjas. It's supposed to be
What,
wizards.
Naruto?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like the actual concept of it? That's weird.
Yeah.
Wizard versus ninjas?
But
It was just supposed to be wizards.
ninjas
Oh,
are
okay.
so much cooler than wizards.
No, not really.
Yeah, they are.
Ninjas are actually 100,000 times cooler than ninjas. No, I mean, wait, no. What did I say?
Ninjas are 100,000
Ninjas
times
are
cooler
100
than
times-
wizards.
Yeah, because ninjas can like turn invisible and cut shit with the sword, and
So can wizards.
no, they can't. That's not in their build, my friend.
What the fuck are you? No, it's called a spell sword, motherfucker.
No. Well, then they might as well be something else. They're
called
not
a
a wizard.
spell
They're not
sword.
really a wizard at that point now, are they?
Yo,
They're not,
I'm a
they're not
fucking muscle wizard. I cast
They're not
punch.
fucking Dumbledore walking around and shit.
I cast punch.
Yeah, that's not a wizard anymore. That's like a magic fighter. That's not
A
a
battle mage.
wizard.
It's a battle mage.
Yeah, that's
Look,
not a wizard,
Wizards can
though.
be wizards can
wizard.
be cool.
A wizard is like a
No, a wizard is cool
wizard.
when he's like the only one.
Right, and he's like 1,000 years old, and his presence is a big deal.
Yeah. Ninjas are cool because they can move around at high speeds.
Yeah, and they do cool shit. They can cut you in half, and then
Wizards
close-
can do that too. It's called
No,
long
they
stride.
cannot.
It's called
Ninjas
a,
can-
it's a
ninjas-
spell. It's a
No.
spell called long stride.
ninjas will cut. I've been playing Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. A ninja will cut you in half, sheath his sword before you fall apart and run away, and then your torso will slide off your legs. That's how. That's a ninja. Wizards can't do that shit.
You know what?
Wizards just go.
Yo, wizards
Oh,
can
I
cast
call
fireball.
the power of the fire god Suitor. Please burn my enemies. And then Suitor's like,
Fireball.
okay, I guess I'll give you a little fire. Ninjas
Alright.
don't need to fucking bargain with some
Alright.
god for power. Ninjas have their
Well,
own power.
Let's
about
let's
that.
all. I was
Well,
gonna say,
it's a Naruto ninjas, but they suck. So
let's all be real. The cleric that calls out a fist of God to come out of the sky is pretty badass. As long as there's only one cleric that can do it.
I guess. But
Like,
I mean,
if there's a cleric in a universe where like only like base healing spells is the only thing you've seen people do, and then all of a sudden a fist of God just shows up.
but to me, a cleric is cooler when he's just a monk and he's doing cool kung fu martial arts shit with his bare hands.
That's fair.
And
Or,
then
like,
calls
just
down a
his
hand of
bare
God.
hand and a shield.
Like, yeah, like Like, for me, if a giant fist is going to come out of the air, that's got to be, like, a fighter or something. That's got to be a punchy dude. That's got to be who's already punching. And he's like, I've achieved the ultimate punch.
You could always be a cleric of the god of fighting, which is literally just a monk.
See, there you go. Kung Fu shit, dog.
Kung Fu shit is the coolest shit. But anyways,
Watch that Kung Fu shit.
I watched the anime, and I was quite happy with the first episode, but I feel like it's not going to be very good. Like my gut for once is telling me something, and it's saying this isn't going to be good in 2 episodes.
Trust your fucking instinct. I'm telling you, it will work out. You will never think about this show again, ever. No one's gonna. The only person who's gonna talk to you about it is that one friend who's reading the manga, and you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that series sucked." And I'm not going to read any more of it.
It wouldn't be that series sucked. I would probably say it was all right.
And you and that guy will never talk about it ever again. And you'll never hear about it. It
the
won't
funny
get
thing
popular.
is that guy watches this this podcast.
Uh-oh. Well, now he knows.
Now he knows. But nevertheless, I'm going to keep watching it until it's over. And then.
Sorry, dog. Your favorite series looks like shit.
He's not his favorite series, but okay. It's all good. It's all good. So yeah, I watched that. I played some more Titanfall 2. That game's still fun. Played some more Apex.
Speaking of Titanfall 2, won't be able to play that for a while till I figure out why I won't play on my computer.
Oh, fun.
It just won't start. I think it has something to do with Origin, but won't be able to play that for a while.
That sucks. But so yeah, I played a little bit of that. I played a little bit of Apex. Apex is still fun. I still wish it had wall running like Titanfall. The movement in Titanfall just feels too good.
Until it doesn't, yes.
The updates for Apex though are actually really nice. Apparently Octane has a midair jump now, so that makes him a little bit cooler because
in Titanfall 2, everyone has a midair jump.
Yeah, it's really nice. You also know what else they have? They have a
Wall
grappling
running.
hook.
They have a grappling hook.
Everybody has a grappling hook though, not
You know
just
what else is
Pathfinder.
in Titanfall 2?
Wall running.
Titans.
Oh, Titans. there's no way to balance that in a
I know Fortnite proved that shit.
yeah. There's no way to balance it.
Oh, that's right. Fortnite did have giant robots, but Fortnite sucks.
But like the only way you could balance Titan would be like an exosuit.
Yeah.
I don't know. People say you can't make a Superman game, but you can definitely make a Superman game. You can definitely make Titans work in a
You just have to make them
think
paper
Battle
thin.
Royale type
Is
game.
the issue? Like you can make them OP as fuck, but you'd have to make them paper thin.
Yeah, I was gonna say like if you get an exosuit where like you get a Titan, but it's just like 100 HP, and if you snipe them, they just die.
They pop.
Yeah. Make them have a huge headshot hitbox. So if you have a wingman, you just go pop pop and it's dead. Or you know what? Give me wall running. Every character, just give them wall running.
They should probably make like maybe 1 or 2 battery pulls kills the Titan instead of like 3 or 4, and then you gotta pull out.
Yeah.
You gotta like drop the grenade in there.
Yeah. Like they could definitely do something, but they'd have to make it someone super like a specific character for it or something like that. Deshaun's
That's right. I forgot. Apex Legends makes it so you have to fucking only certain characters have the cool shit instead of just giving everybody the cool shit and then giving them more stuff on top of that.
It's like if Titan ever exists as someone super, that's the only time Deshaun will play once.
Yep. I'll play once and I'll play that character.
And he's
That's
like,
it.
all right, nope. If you like it, you're like, maybe I'll play more. If you don't, you're just gonna be like, all right, that was a good $5 spent, gone.
Yeah. It's like, all right, time to put this game away forever.
But so I played that. I forgot to mention a couple weeks ago, I almost beat Derek's ass in chess, and then he timer scammed me.
What?
I was beating his ass in chess, and then he timer scammed me.
But I mean, timer scam? I don't understand.
So we were playing.
He ran out of time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's chess.
So you only have a certain amount of time to make your moves, and once you get down to 10 minutes, so you both have 10 minutes to play, and every time you make your move, you have to click the button, and the button will change over to being their time now. So you have to
See, I'm a fan of the chess game that lasts 100 years.
Same. But Derek Timer scammed me while he was getting his ass beat.
Well, that's how you win.
Yep.
So.
Well, it wasn't a win. It was a draw.
Yeah.
So
I still lost points.
Not a loss. Not an L.
It's not an L. It's a D, but it's not an L.
Yeah, damn
it's
right.
not an
it's a
F.
You always come.
I was upset.
D. Yeah, it was funny as fuck.
I was like, what do you mean? I saw the draw come up. I'm like, what do you mean? I was trying to make my play, but my mouse wasn't letting me click.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, draw. I'm like, what? What? He had like 4 pieces left, and I had like 7. What?
Sometimes you realize your win condition is a draw condition, and that's how you
Right,
draw.
exactly.
Don't worry. Self-destruct button is a beautiful card in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's illegal now, but it didn't used to be. Yo,
I miss the old Yu-Gi-Oh days.
I also miss the old Yu-Gi-Oh days.
Tabletop
Back when
simulator, boys. Like,
That's true. We should make
Yeah.
our own game. Fuck
They're
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds like fun.
yeah, that's totally not impossible.
It's not.
No, it's fucking difficult.
I mean,
though.
Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic.
So it's not that it's
Fucking what is that one with the garbage? Dueling Monsters, Dueling Masters, Duel Masters.
Duel
yeah, Duel
Masters.
Masters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's
They
not
made one.
hard to make a card game. It's hard to make a compelling card game.
Yeah.
There's a difference. Making a card game that's fun to play is really easy. Making a card game that's fun to play and people want to play it is hard.
Yeah, sure.
Look at Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. That's a fun game to play. That's a fun game to play that no one wants to play.
Yep. Look at Duel Masters.
Look
That
at
game
Duel
sucks.
Masters.
You mean Magic, but for Asian kids?
Yeah.
Is that what it is basically? I guess it is because
Yeah.
it
It's,
does have the
Wizards of the
the
Coast,
cards
I
you
think.
put up as like shields or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually still big in Japan.
Is it?
Yeah. It's just not
Oh,
big
I
over
think
here.
I did. I think I did read up about it a little bit a while ago, and it was still alive, and I was shocked.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did I play anything? I also played the Impossible game, which is today. I played that. That game still holds up. That game's still fun.
Was the game ever actually fun, though?
The game's always been fun to me. But I also have weird taste and like repetition.
Yes. Yes, you do.
That's why I only play one character in all fighting games, and I only play one character in all League and MOBA games, and why I only play one game at a time, because I like roguelikes, so just keep doing the thing over and over again.
Until something changes.
Until you feel comfortable and saying, yeah, I'm good, and you go on to the next roguelike and then do the same thing.
Until the loop no matter satisfies your autism, then you
Yeah.
move on.
That's why I play Pokemon Puzzle League, because everyone says that's for
Because I have autism.
No,
Well,
like,
people say the same thing about like Sonic the Hedgehog and shit.
yeah.
But
Pokemon, like, just Panel Dupont is such a fun game.
mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say about it. It's just, it's my favorite.
You have yet to convince the world that's a fun game.
Well, it's hard to convince the people, but you know what? What I'm happy about.
Speaking of completely pointless. Sorry, I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
Speaking
yeah.
of, it's fucked up.
No, you're good. I can't convince you guys to play that game, but
Speaking of completely pointless, worthless Pokemon games, how do you guys care about Pokemon Snap 2?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I heard about that, and I was just like, oh, okay.
I'm
I-
mildly confused as to how it's getting made. Because Pokemon Snap was not a particularly compelling... I mean, like, I had fun with it. It was a fun game, but, like, it's not a particularly
People
compelling
seem
game.
to really fucking love Pokemon
I don't-
Snap, dude.
I don't
Like, they
get
go
it.
nuts for it.
I don't
It's
like-
shit. It's a walking simulator, but you just take pictures.
It's not even
I
a walking
watched-
simulator. You're on a cart simulator.
You're on rails.
Yeah, on rails. It's on a rail shooter. Like, the thing is that I've seen the game. I know what it looks like. I know how it's played. I've never played it, but I still don't understand how it's fun.
I mean, it
You
is...
just take pictures of Pokemon.
It is fun. Like, I have the game. That was my first N64 game. Oh, well, besides Madden,
What's-
but, like, let's be real.
What's the fun part about it, though?
I mean, it's just, like, interacting. Because, like, you can chuck apples at things, and, like, it's very novelty, I think. Because, like,
go ahead.
All right.
setting up the shots and stuff, like, it's like an arcade game, essentially. You're trying to get the highest amount of points, and, like, you have to, like, lure the Pokemon to, like, specific places, and, like, if you...
I see.
There's this one part where if you lure a Pikachu onto this, like, trap door, you open up the next level, and if you don't do that, you don't proceed. So, like, it does have like some extra shit, and it's cool to see like all the Pokemon like where they would be in the world, because it's kind of the first time we've really gotten a look like that, you know. But
Right.
I don't understand how a second game is coming out. Like I'll totally get a remaster, but like the fuck.
Well, from what I've seen of the game, I don't know, man. This doesn't really look like, even visually, doesn't even look that much better than the fucking original game.
I wonder if that's a
It
choice
looks like
though,
the same shit.
to like keep it
probably is.
to like keep it
Make
like
it look
that.
limited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, also because the Switch is a pile of shit, power wise. So, you know, they're like, we'll use this to our advantage.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It just seems like a completely pointless game that shouldn't exist. It feels like like it should have been an app on your phone. You know.
Honestly, like I'm down for them
just-
making a second one, or like porting it to like the Switch or whatever. But like I hope it's not a full like game, or like full game price, you know?
I doubt that. There's no fucking way. Cause this shit looks like it's gonna be maybe like 15 minutes at most.
Yeah. But
A lot of the original game too is playing it multiple. I'm mildly surprised you didn't get into it,
Play it
Cameron,
multiple
because
times.
it's playing it multiple times.
there just doesn't seem like there's anything to do in the game. Like,
Oh, this looks way
Exactly.
fucking better.
what, Pokemon Puzzle or not Pokemon? Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, like, well,
Pokemon Snap Dose.
fucking Deshaun was like, it doesn't even look that much better. This looks way fucking better. Have you seen
Oh,
the original?
Yeah, no, it looks way
Yeah,
better,
but
it's
I don't
just-
know. It just still kind of
These
looks like
look
the same
like
shit.
Pokemon now. Like, I don't think you understand.
They look like Pokemon before.
No, dude, they look like polygons that were Pokemon colored.
Yeah,
But still
But-
Pokemon.
but that's Pokemon as a general statement, though.
I'm also super not impressed when stuff upgrades graphically, because after a while I'm like, whatever. I prefer the more stylish shit anyway. So,
But
you know,
my whole point with it is that I just never understood how you could find that fun, because all you're doing is taking pictures of things.
it's just nothing.
But that's just me. But then again, I also enjoyed playing AdCap, and I hate that I enjoyed playing AdCap. But
Weird.
but so like I get why some people can have fun with it. I don't think I could have fun with it.
I will definitely check this out if it's under if it's like $30 or under, because I'd loved Pokemon Snap.
I think that's a good price range for it, unless they add like a whole like huge story mode and like
They
crazy
would
shit.
literally need to add the original game and then also an entirely new game's worth of content for it to be $60. Like,
30 is reasonable. It'll probably be 35 or 40 and then drop to 30 and stay there for about 16 years.
yeah.
and
Because
then
that's what Nintendo does.
and then they're going to port it to the new system, and it's going to go back to 40.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of completely pointless, worthless Pokemon games, how do you guys feel about this Pokemon MOBA?
I'm down.
You mean the I'ma steal your stuff simulator?
Wait, okay. Who's getting the stuff stolen from?
All devices that download it. I'm just waiting for them to like, oh, you downloaded this thing? Thanks. There's a huge like hole in the game
Right,
that
yeah.
just steals all your information.
I mean, that's
it's
just
the
a given at
backdoor
this
that
point.
anyone can get into.
No, I'm excited for it. It's
It could be a lot of fun. It
I
could be, like honestly.
really like Pokemon, and I really like MOBAs. So
Yeah, I figured
like-
one of you guys would be excited for it at least a little.
I like MOBAs, but it looks like shit.
it
does look like
it does
shit.
look like shit, but it's also not like a full-fledged title though. Like, it's a mobile game that's also getting a port to the Switch.
It's made by like some Chinese company, I think. Anyway, so
Isn't it Tencent?
well, Tencent, actually, maybe. I think it's by a company that Tencent owns.
Okay.
So,
that,
it's
that makes
Tencent.
more sense.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
basically,
but
Tencent. Yeah.
but Tencent has Mobile Legend and
League.
League.
Exactly.
So like, and League wants a mobile League of Legends.
League is getting a mobile League of Legends.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point,
aren't
I
they
think
doing something else?
at this point,
Like Tencent, like Tencent's making another MOBA for something else. I think.
at this point,
They're all over
it
the
feels
fucking
like
place.
it's more about what characters you want to play rather than like the actual gameplay. What game does it best?
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, at this point, what they should do is just make Mobile Legends. Well, actually, Mobile Legends can say its own thing because it actually does have interesting characters. I don't think it has interesting lore, but it does have interesting characters. But Pokemon should just use one of those and just be like, "Oh, here's some skins for it that you can skin the entire game to be something different."
I mean, to be fair, I do think it's smart to port it onto the Switch because the Switch doesn't really have a MOBA right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that being on the Switch is the cool thing.
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna play it on the Switch.
Is it cool or is it Nintendo trying to make as much money as possible?
Does it fucking matter?
Yeah, that's true too.
So to be fair, I don't think it's Nintendo trying to make the most money. I think it's Tencent trying to make the most money, and then Nintendo's just there.
I am curious how they're gonna do the microtransactions though, because like there's not like skins for.
You can get your shinies.
I mean, I guess.
And there are skins because you can have like a Alola version of.
Yeah,
but that's only for like certain ones. So
yeah, sure, but still skins.
Yeah, I
skins
guess
are only for certain characters, anyways.
So
or like Mega Evolutions. Charizard gets like an X skin and a Y skin.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just
basically does the same thing, but it just looks different.
I'm concerned that because there's not a ton of like cosmetic, like immediately apparent cosmetic differences, that it's going to be something that impacts the gameplay. Which
well, then you can also throw in stuff from like the show and shit too. Like you can have those weird Charizards from that Charizard Mountain place, or the one from the fucking
or the one that wears a hat.
Mewtwo, or the one with the hat. Or,
I was gonna say the other thing is you can maybe buy what's it called, as you said, cosmetics, but that you can put on any Pokemon. So any Pokemon could wear the hat, any Pokemon could wear the scarf or the gloves or whatever.
Yeah, I'd be down for that as long as they keep that shit
Pikachu alone
out of the gameplay.
Have like a million different costumes.
As long as they keep that shit out of the gameplay, I don't really care.
Yeah.
I just.
How do you feel about purchasing Pokemon moves though?
Oh, fuck that.
Because there are a fuck ton.
Actually,
and I could see them selling like some of the crazier, stronger ones. I guess that wouldn't be cool and that would suck ass. But I could see them doing that. I bet they would.
I would be okay with it if it was only in-game currency and not purchase currency.
Exactly. 100%
so like
agreed.
Or like if you had to spend a lot of time with the character and it unlocked like. You went from like
special
Ember to
moves.
Flamethrower or something, you know?
So the only reason why I would not like that is because then it becomes a this person's just higher level than me, so it doesn't matter. Like
That's the only reason they bear stuff.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends on whether or not they're going to try to make it an actual competitive thing, or if they're just kind of making this for fun. Because I think if they're making this for fun, then they can do that. But if they want to make it actually competitive, it needs to stay standard. So whether or not that's like you start with the baby Pokemon, and then as soon as you hit level 10 on your account, you unlock like the bigger Pokemon, and they have the upgraded moveset.
So you actually evolve during the game.
Yeah, or like I mean, just your account hits level 10, and like you get unlocked. You start out with Charmander, but now your Charmander knows like all the Charizard moves, even if you don't swap Charizard. So that way, it's like standard across all of the accounts.
What I'm saying is, you start with the baby Pokemon in the game, and they
yes,
evolve
I realize
during
what you're
the
saying.
match.
I'm saying that was not what I was saying.
Oh, so you don't want it to be that way?
I'm not saying I don't want it to be like that. I'm just saying they need to keep shit standard.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
and
I was just confused. That's my bad.
If they want to start people with like 2 moves when they make an account, and then once you hit, like how League does it with summoner spells, like you just start with like Heal and Ghost, and then if you want to like open it up by the time they hit level 10 and move on to the actual fucking game, I think that's a good way to do it.
Gotcha.
But they should not have customizable moves like if they want to keep it remotely competitive. And if they do make it remotely competitive, you bet your ass that I'm going to try to play this game competitively.
I doubt it'll be competitive.
I also doubt that.
And they hate that as much as possible.
I also doubt that highly. But if there's an online matchmaking mode, I'm going to be the Pokemon master. Let's be real.
I kind of even doubt this will even be good. I don't think this. I think Pokemon Go was a fluke, and the fact that it's still around is a miracle. But I think they're stretching themselves a little too thin with this one, and they're putting out something that isn't really in the spirit of what they were originally thinking of with the series.
I will say, this is like, oh shit, how did that happen? This is I dropped all my my tabs.
Okay.
This is one of those things that like I always thought would be really cool, as like just a general idea, as like a giant, like even if you just take the the like name of what a MOBA is. Like take out all the creeps, take out all the like whatever, and just make it like a fighting arena. That sounds so fucking sick for Pokemon. So I think Pokemon should have jumped on this way fucking sooner.
They need to fucking stop wasting their time with this mobile bullshit and bring back the fucking Coliseum and XD games.
No, like, well, yes, but like,
Or Stadium.
they fucking Pokemon MOBA
Or Stadium
sounds so legit. You know, they already have characters that have 4 moves. Like, all of their Pokemon have 4 moves. It's perfect. They have thousands of Pokemon. They can make money for days. Like, I just don't understand why they didn't do this sooner. Like, as soon as they saw League starting up, they should have been like, okay, we're hopping on this fucking bandwagon. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Nintendo doesn't. Strangely, for a fucking big stupid corporation, Nintendo doesn't really like to jump on the bandwagon that much.
It's just
especially if it's online.
Nintendo would prefer to set the tone and have everybody else jump on the bandwagon.
Well, it's like fucking. They have. I don't even necessarily want Nintendo. Although I know that the Pokemon company is Nintendo based, but like, I don't even want Nintendo to like make it for the Switch or whatever. Like, the Pokemon company should have just been able to been like, yeah, you see how big League and Dota are becoming? We have 800 characters to capitalize on. Let's fucking go. Like,
but again, they don't care about that. They don't care about capitalizing on their characters.
No, they don't.
It's just, it's one of those things that was always super confusing to me. That's all.
Yeah. The way Nintendo runs shit is super weird. It doesn't make any sense.
Yo, I would just, instead of doing like a whole MOBA thing, and like you're saying, the battle arena, give me one-on-one or duos where you could just play as one-on-one. Just I would get so into that because I'm probably not gonna play Pokken because that's what Pokken is.
Hey motherfucker, guess what game that is? It's called Battle Right.
It's called what?
Battle Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a 2v2 and 3v3. No minions, just team fighting.
Yeah.
And it's the fucking best. Too bad it's dead as fuck.
It's got a thousand.
Right.
No,
It
had a resurgence.
I think that's because it was free or something, right?
I don't remember why there's a resurgence. I just know there's a streamer I watched who got into it, and he was like, "Oh man, I'm pissed that it's one of my favorite games, but no one plays it anymore." Goes to play it, there's like 30,000 people playing. He's like, "Never mind. I guess there's people still playing it."
Yeah, looks like it's free to play right now.
Gotcha.
Which kind of sucks because I bought it, but whatever.
Did you get any? You probably got some free stuff for it, right? No?
Well, and I got to play it for like 2 years before everybody else, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. That's a reason to pay for things.
Hey, Microsoft might buy Warner Brothers.
That's interesting.
I don't know. It might be. Warner Bros. Games, I should say. They might start putting fucking Batman games because we know that's all fucking Warner Bros. Games is ever gonna fucking make at this point. They're gonna start putting those on the Xbox now.
They can make some Justice League games, right?
They had a chance to make a Justice League game. You know what they made?
What?
A Batman game. Like they've had a chance to make a Flash game and like a Wonder Woman game and a Green Lantern game and all these games that would have been great, that had fucking great ideas behind them, and they just didn't make them because they wanted to make a Batman game because you fucking Batman fags won't shut the hell up.
Jesus, dude, fucking chill.
The anger is real. Hey,
Batman,
you know what?
Batman fans are the worst comic book fans.
I just want to make a shout out real quick to anybody who's made it to this point in the podcast. You are the real guy right now.
the one person, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, who knows? Hopefully this will make them get their shit together and start putting out PC ports that don't fucking suck.
That would be
because
nice.
Warner Bros. Games loves to put out PC ports that are fucking awful.
That are just broken.
They just straight up stopped even trying to put Arkham Knight on the PC.
Did they?
They were just like, fuck it. Yeah, they kept trying to put it out, and then eventually they were just like, nah, fuck it. But actually, I think they may have actually...
I have it in my Steam library.
Recently? I was going to say recently, I think they put it back up, though.
Yeah.
So I think they were able to get it work eventually. But like when they were first putting it out, they kept delaying it to the point where they're just like, nah, fuck it. It's probably not going to come out. So... Maybe this is a sign that they're getting their shit together, but we'll see.
We'll see.
All right, Cameron, are you done with your week?
Yeah, that was
'Cause I got
about it.
a character action video game thing to talk about. So I was playing a lot of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. It's super fun, super awesome. Because it was like $30 when I wanted it before, and then it was on sale for $7, so I bought it recently, and I've just been playing it. It feels great to play it with the PS4 controller. Trying to play with the PS3 controller was kind of painful. Or anyway. So as I'm playing it, I'm like, man, this is a big old fun character action game. I'm just skipping all the cutscenes because I don't care. I'm doing the combos and cutting shit up, and then I kind of stop and I'm like, but this is a Metal Gear game. So where's the codec? And I found the codec and I started talking to all the your comm people, and they start getting into like their backstories and their character stuff, and it really allows the characters to kind of like express themselves, and you get more out of them. And I was like, you know what? Devil May Cry needs codecs. They need this very thing so the characters can express themselves a little bit better. So we can stop getting weird ass Dante, Virgil headcanons and shit, and people just kind of making shit up.
Yeah,
you know.
I think codecs would be cool in Devil May Cry, 100%.
Hell yeah! Like it would really allow each, like, you would get these little moments between the characters that you wouldn't really get otherwise. You know, you can get to see Dante like talk to Trish and Lady and really like see their relationship just outside of like a cutscene or two. You know. But it's one of those things where like I don't know, so these games are so good. I wish they would all just kind of steal ideas from each other and then just make the perfect character action game, just the perfect action game. Because Metal Gear Revengeance is like damn near the perfect action game, I think. Like as far as like hype and excitement goes, and making you feel like you're doing all the cool shit.
And you get to drink so much Gatorade.
Yeah, you just drink so much Gatorade. You pull it right out of the guy's spines.
That's my favorite. It's my favorite kind of Gatorade.
It's so weird, like when you crush the electrolyte stuff, it looks so. It makes me thirsty. It makes me want a bottle of water because it's so refreshing looking.
Oh my god, dude!
Thirst quencher.
Pretty much. The only thing that kind of disappoints me about the game, I guess, is I don't know, like little nitpicks, like still some camera issues. The VR missions are all kind of bullshit. They're not like real challenges. They're just annoying as fuck, and they're like, I don't know. They kind of add like little things that make it just a pain in the ass, to where it's not even about changing up your style. It's like it's about like not playing the game. You know, you're forced to find ways to kind of fuck around, cheat the game instead of just playing the game straight how they taught you. But I mean, anyway, that in itself is kind of learning the game too. So you still get something out of it. But it's shit like if you do this VR mission and you use up because it's VR, right? So it's not real. But if you use up health things in this VR mission, it uses up health things in reality.
Yeah.
So that shit kind of sucks. It makes you not want to do VR missions, like between how fucking difficult and how much of a pain in the ass they are. They also sap actual resources from me. Alright, I thought these were just kind of challenges that were separate from everything else, but whatever.
Yeah, dude, they're challenging you not to suck.
Yeah, pretty much.
See,
but it's kind of hard to not suck when you can't see what's going on half the time because of the shitty camera.
That's where Crash did it right. Isn't that right, Derek?
Kill yourself.
You know what, man? I think I don't know. I was thinking about it, and the kind of the thing where that Crash does, where you're running and you can't see where you're going. I don't know. I hate that. That's unforgivable to me. That's bad.
It doesn't bother me at all, but also I grew up with it, so I guess I got used to it. I mean,
That's a thing with Crash people, is that they are like, I don't know. I feel like if they didn't grow up with Crash, they just wouldn't like Crash.
yeah, I would agree with that.
Fucking tell me about it.
Yeah.
I could agree
Crash
with
Crash should have gone the way of like Gex and Blinks the Time Cat and
Or Vex.
all those fucking worthless ass mascots.
ties, man.
Yeah.
I will say that in general, it is a fun game, but I already don't like platformers, and I would literally rather be playing any other modern platformer.
Yeah.
It's like, it's cute and like the designs are cool, but like the missions are not designed necessarily to like be platforming
Fun.
issues more than just to elongate the game,
Yeah.
which I understand is like the thing from back then, but like playing through it with Cause, which I still need to finish up.
Almost there.
Kill myself.
You got like 5 levels left.
Yeah, kill myself. But like, it's one of those things where if I was doing it myself, I could put it down for, I could play like one level every week and be fine with it. Mm-hmm. But playing it all in a row is just very, very like infuriating, and not in like an infuriating and I'm supposed to be infuriated. It's like, this is infuriating because shit is just not working like I expect it to.
Yeah. I was going to say, to be fair, the first one is probably the hardest of the 3.
Yeah. Well, and like the biggest issue that I had, and I still hope I have those recordings. I'm pretty sure I do. But like, was that like shit would constantly change how it reacted to me, and I was always confused as to why I was reacting a certain way. And that was like my main source of frustration.
So I can explain it to you, because what it is, it does something that no other games do, is that your momentum doesn't keep your momentum. It all depends on how you're holding your controller. So if you want to slow down in the air, you basically have to tap forward. Just versus most games, if you're holding forward, jump forward, you keep going forward and slowly slow down if you let go of the stick. In this game, you just stop midair and just go straight down.
Yeah,
there's like no momentum.
It is very weird. Mm-hmm. And
so every tiny movement changes your entire like character's positioning, and it's just like, thanks, game.
I don't like it, Sam. I don't like the green egg Sam. I don't know. It's
speaking of games that aren't. Oh, go ahead, go for it.
No, that was it.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah.
Last chance.
I have like literally 3 hours of me just like bitching at Cause for making me play this game.
Mad as fuck. Hey, that's how my Heavenly Sword playthrough is gonna go. It's just gonna be shitting on Cameron for liking that awful, god awful shit game.
We didn't do the whole playthrough. We did a good amount of it, and then you're like, I'm done, and I finished the game. Yeah, I actually beat Heavenly Swords.
Wow, that's right. Yeah, I remember talking to you about that, and I was like, "Are you seriously playing through Heavenly Sword all the way?" You were like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I beat it.
Fucking idiot.
Cause did we do 2 videos of Crash?
We did 3. I'm pretty sure.
Oh fuck! I only have the first one.
Well, that sucks.
Oh, and I might be able to find it. Anyway, continue.
Speaking of bad games that people like for some reason, like Crash, The World Ends With You is getting an anime.
The World? Why does that sound familiar?
Wow, that is a super fucking old game.
Yeah.
Man, Toei came out on like the DS. Like,
yeah, and it had fucking god awful controls because of that.
This game, okay.
Yeah.
I never played it, but I saw the animation, and it always made me think of Sora.
It looks super cool. The aesthetic and music is fucking amazing. It plays like complete garbage because the touchscreen controls are not good.
Okay.
And the controls are already weird enough, where you're like yelling into the microphone and shit and doing all kinds of other like not rhythm game shit. It's super weird. But then also the touchscreen controls sucked ass. But I mean, I will probably be able to enjoy this more as an anime than I would as a game, or it did as a game, you know?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Which is something as unlike me to say, because normally I'm like, they could have just made this a game and it would have been way more enjoyable. You know, usually I would prefer a medium to just stay a video game or be a video game instead. You know.
The main character of that is making me think of Hamatora from what is it? What's the anime called?
Hamtaro from the Hamster Show.
No, not Hamtaro from the Hamster Show. The fuck?
What's that show even called? Hamstars?
It is Hamatora? Is that what it's called?
Hamtaro.
Well, Hamtaro was the main character's name. Is that the name of the show too?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
Anybody else used to watch that show?
No,
I did.
I watched it on something, but I can't remember what. I used to want to say Cartoon Network, but that couldn't have been it.
That's not it.
Was it Fox Kids? Or whatever Fox Kids became in like the fucking billion name changes it had.
What show are you talking about?
Hamtaro.
No, I'm not talking about the hamster.
I'm just talking about Hamtaro, dude.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about. Yeah, it's called Hamatora.
Okay, what's Hamatora?
It's an anime where like all these kids have superpowers, and they.
Oh,
become,
that sounds unique.
Yeah, it's the show is actually cool. It does a cool thing with the superpowers, but the story was eh. But the main character's name is nice.
But it was cool though.
Yeah, it was cool. They did cool things with the superpowers, and then the main guy's superpower they didn't explain for a little while. But when they finally did explain it, you had an inkling of what it was, and then it turned out not to be that.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, that's a nice little subversion. But
I'm sure it was.
Nevertheless, the main character of The World Ends With You reminded me of him, and yeah, it's cool. Anyways, sorry.
You'd probably like The World Ends With You. You should get your hands on a copy of it somehow.
Probably should.
Oh, what else was I gonna say? Hold on. I had something here. I wrote it down, I think. Let me check. Nintendo's gonna ground gamers and send them to the rooms with no video games. Mortal Shell.
I've heard of this.
Have you guys seen anything from it?
no.
I watched some gameplay from it.
Oh, this one.
I think like I want to say like half an hour maybe almost. Of gameplay came out.
I need to go take a look at it.
The PC beta is now available for all.
It seemed interesting. Is it interesting?
The beta just came out. So there's a fine line between like homage and being inspired by something and just straight up fucking ripping it off.
Mm-hmm.
I thought The Surge was like the most shameless Dark Souls knockoff of them all, but Mortal Shell takes the cake in a whole new fucking way. I've never seen something be such just a blatant like copy and pasting of someone's ideas. It's literally like, hey dog, did you do the homework? Can I copy your homework?
Sure, change a little.
Change a little. So yeah, and that's literally it. Like it, I think like the death mechanic is kind of different. It's more like you lose a body and you gotta go back and get the stuff off that body with your new body, whatever. But ultimately, like, it looks the same, it plays the same, it kind of sounds the same. Just the vibe is the same. It's just Dark Souls, dude. But it's just Dark Souls, but it doesn't look as good. It looks like a shallow knockoff. Like, even from like an animation perspective or a standpoint, like the way the characters move look like a cheap shit game. Like a cheap knockoff game. Like those games from the Microsoft store back in the day were the what was it? The store that you could like make games on that Microsoft had. I can't fucking remember what it was called. But it was like a higher end one of those. And it just looks super bad.
Yeah.
I was not fucking with it at all. I don't know what other people are saying. I guess I don't really care. It looks like shit. I was kind of interested before. I was like, oh, some of this stuff looks kind of cool. Some of these, things I'm seeing in these trailers look interesting, but it just does not look good at all.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just have to wait for Elden Ring to come out for me to get my Dark Souls game fix.
Let's see.
And Elden Ring's just gonna be Lord of the Rings, except it's not gonna suck. Probably.
Where is it? I'm trying to see. There, I think it was Arxis. I'm pretty sure it was Arxis. They have a Dark Souls-like game that was actually pretty cool. Because I think it was Arxis, but the death mechanic for the game that I'm thinking of is you can choose from like 6 different characters to level up, and as they level up, when you die, you have to pick your new character and go revive that old character.
Oh, I know what game you're talking about, but I do not remember the fucking. I know the mechanic you're talking about, but I don't remember the name.
Yeah. Is it this one? No, it's not this one for sure. It's not that one. But yeah, I thought that was a cool idea for a death mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yo, what? Fuck, you guys are definitely not gonna remember this, but there's a game that
Okay.
at first it just kind of looked like Bandai Namco's version of Astral Chain. It was just some anime bullshit, but then they put out like another trailer for it, and it had a fucking sick animated bit, and then they showed some gameplay, and the gameplay looked like it had some fucking awesome shit in it. I can't remember the name of the game, but they showed it during what did they show it during? I think the PS4 event, maybe back in the not PS4, but the Sony event, like a while ago.
Wow. What was the description again?
It was like Bandai Namco's Astral Chain. It kind of looks like Astral Chain, but it's by Bandai Namco.
I know what you're talking about. The anime bullshit game that looked like super anime and it had the all the plants and stuff that were like your enemies.
Exactly, like the trees and shit.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
I was gonna say Code Vein, but
No.
Code Vein was. Man, I miss playing that game.
I mean, you could always play it.
Yeah, I know. It's just there's not much else to do with the
Scarlet Nexus. Is that what it was?
I believe so.
Like I'm already on my New Game Plus playthrough, and like unless I want to see the end, there's actually not much added for like New Game Plus. So it's like,
Yeah, Scarlet Nexus is we had a trailer just recently come out for it, and it looks like Kirito, and it has Kirito's voice actor.
Yeah. And when I first saw it, I was like, ugh.
But
then I started seeing some cool shit from it, and now I'm like, all right, now I'm kind of looking at this.
No, I'm fogged.
There's some anime bullshit that just kind of goes, damn it, they got me.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna play it, and then you're gonna be like, God damn it, I shouldn't have played this. But
right, exactly. I'm gonna be like, wow, this sucks. That's the only reason I haven't played Code Vein yet, because I know I'm gonna start playing it probably and think it sucks for whatever reason.
It's so
like I'm afraid of that happening.
It's so fun. It's not challenging, but it's so fun.
Sure. Well, if it's not challenging, then I might even just be bored. I might just be like, wow, I'm kind of not enjoying myself. I'm just cutting everybody to ribbons.
So what's your guys' level for challenging versus this is not fun anymore?
It depends on the game, I think.
Okay.
Because
it does depend on the game. Like with the VR missions in Revengeance, sometimes it would get to the point where I'm like, all right, this was challenging, but then I died 46 times. So now it's not challenging, it's just annoying bullshit.
Gotcha.
It's just fucking garbage. It's not, it stops being, because something that's difficult should still be like beatable within a reasonable amount of time.
It stops become learning, and it becomes more just a busy work.
Yeah, it stops being worth the shit, because you stop being fulfilled by it after a while.
Because after a little while, you're like, I'm not learning anything new. I'm just either fucking up or the game's fucking me over.
And you don't feel like you got better when you finish it.
Yeah.
Like a good challenge fulfills you and makes you feel like you got better by completing it. But a shitty challenge, like a lot of the ones in Revengeance, are just ones that are not very fun, that you finish, and then you're like, okay, finally, I got that out of the way, I guess. Thank God.
It's like learning a combo that you can't even start because the starter is not
it's not viable at all.
I think, I don't know, I very rarely find a game that I will like actively play at the highest level. Because like even games like League, I don't play that much ranked because, like, as much as I want to get better at the game, I more just want to, like, understand the game better and, like, tell people how to get better, because you can just make way more fucking money doing that. But, like, Kingdom Hearts 2, I played on Critical, and this was, like, the release version that was, like, that didn't have all the extra bullshit. So, and I played that game, like, 6 times. Like, I played the shit out of that game. Or, like, Code Vein, right? Code Vein is the only Souls-like that I've finished. Or that I've completed the story of. I'll put it that way. And that's because, one, the story was actually easy to follow. And 2, it was just a fun game. Like, there was bullshit and there was stuff that made me, like, want to give up. But, like, besides fucking the Cannoneer and the Ice Bitch and the final boss, it was, for the most part, it wasn't, like, bullshit. It was just, like, difficult.
Yeah.
But very few games for me have that level of, like, this is difficult and challenging, and also this is still really fun. Most of the times, it's one or the other.
Gotcha. Right. Okay. Yeah, for me, it's usually pretty high up there on the. If it's difficult, I'll still enjoy it, but it has a degree where it's like, I don't play many games, so if I choose to play the game, I'm playing the game no matter what it is. So, like, that's why Heavenly Swords was one of those games where it's like, it's not really that it's difficult, it's just I'm playing it, so I'm going to have fun.
But for me, like, Heavenly Sword's not difficult. That kind of adds to it, but it's also just not fun to play.
Yeah, I don't know. I just find the fun in whatever I decide to play because I'm playing it.
I think
it's probably bad.
No, I mean, that's fine. But I think for me, video games are much more of a game than for you guys, because my like real creative outlet and what I find pleasure in difficulty is music. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
like,
I can see that.
I fucking play guitar to do the cool, like, shred shit and to understand, like, how that jazz chord works and all that kind of stuff. And, like, that shit that's difficult, you know?
Yeah. That's what I do with video games.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, when I play video games, I want to relax for the most part. Yeah. And so I don't really like things, like, I like things being a challenge, because if there's no challenge, why am I playing? But, like, I want to just be able to kind of coast and enjoy it. So I don't really have a high tolerance for difficulty, for non-variable difficulty in video games. That's
yeah.
Okay. But if the gameplay
curious.
is compelling enough, then 100%, yeah. Like, Dark Souls is compelling enough, I just don't care about the story, so it's hard to stay invested.
Yeah. Dark Souls, I will always say this, Dark Souls is one of those games that you don't need, if you don't care for the game, don't worry about the story, because the story is not going to be the thing that compels you to play the game.
Yeah. Like, Dark Souls is... It's
Dark
fine.
Souls, I love the lore for Dark Souls, but you don't learn the lore from playing the game typically.
You learn it from reading the items.
The lore is, like, secondary to the gameplay. The gameplay is, like, the major focus of Dark Souls. The gameplay loop and actually beating the shit. Yeah. The story just doesn't matter at all.
I need to upload the next part.
Yeah, it's just one of those games for me that, like, I know, like, I enjoy it when I'm playing it, but I don't have the feeling of, like, I should play this again. It's always like, oh yeah, this is rewarding, but I very rarely have fun playing Dark Souls, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know. I'd rather just have fun. Like, it's a rewarding feeling when you dunk on somebody, or, like, when you finish that boss, but, like,
oh yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Dark Souls is one of those, is, like, the video game that you want to point to when, like, someone is, like, talking about video games in, like, TV or something. And, like, they're like, yeah, I just beat the boss. Like, that's the kind of feeling I get. But it's not, like, fun like League. League is, like, fun with your friends. It's fuck around time with your friends. So, I don't know. Yeah. It just depends.
Dark Souls is for people who just like the way Dark Souls feels. Yeah. You know, if you like the gameplay of Dark Souls, you'll be back for more Dark Souls. You know, if you really like the... You know, and if you like being punished and getting bodied and all that shit, and you like overcoming that stuff in that kind of way, then yeah.
Can't wait to play Sword and Board.
My dude, what?
Can't wait to play Sword and Board.
Yeah, no, I heard
Demon
that.
Souls.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Demon Souls. I'm gonna walk at a fucking dragon with a goddamn shield out.
I hope Demon Souls plays like Dark Souls 3, and all the Demon Souls fans hate it.
I hope Demon Souls plays like Dark Souls 3, but keeps the jank.
That'd be cool.
That's what I wish, because if it can feel like Dark, like, because the thing about Demon Souls is that the jank is what added to the feel, but everybody knows, like, when you roll in Demon Souls versus rolling in Dark Souls, as long as the fat roll feels right, everything will be a-okay. So the one thing I want that no one probably cares about is I want to have the weight be a thing again.
Oh yeah.
Because that, I don't know why, but item management was one of my favorite things in that game. It was one of the stupidest things to care about, but I'm like, all right, I gotta go to my friend, dump all my stuff off at my friend, let him take care of it while I go out and fight these monsters that he doesn't want to fight. Stockpile, whatever his name was.
And it's funny you talk about item management in Demon Souls because you stink at it in Dark Souls 3.
I am terrible at it in Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
It's because you have all those items you have to deal with.
But since Dark Souls 3 doesn't fuck with you until you hit 70, and then that's it, you know, you don't really gotta worry about having all your shit in the right places or anything, or you know, carrying a bunch of shit you don't need. It's like whatever.
Oh well. Anyways,
fucking great. Speaking of games that have wall running, we weren't, but I forgot. Cyberpunk was gonna have wall running, but then they took it out.
Those bastards.
You know what Cyberpunk does have?
A delayed
foreskin
release date?
physics.
Oh,
foreskin physics. Yeah, that's what we all want.
They crunched
the
their staff for fucking foreskin physics.
I mean, that's a pretty noble cause.
Vagina.
I don't know, man.
They took out wall running and put in foreskins and shit.
You know
and
what?
all kinds of useless crap that you won't be able to see.
You know what? As long as down the line at the end of PS5's life cycle, they're gonna add VR sex in it. Everyone will be fine.
Oh my god, I wouldn't be surprised. They're gonna go so stupidly far at this. But next they're gonna be like, yeah, we had giant robots in it, but we decided they were too difficult to integrate into the game, so we took them out. It's like, what the fuck? But they're gonna be like, but we did put in proper uvulas, so you know, you can adjust the size of your neck thing.
Oh, next thing you know, it's like, oh yeah, we also added tongue physics, so when the mouths are talking, the tongue moves too.
I mean,
we added physics. We made your eyebrow physics better, so when your character moves their eyebrows, other characters react to it better, even though you can't see them. Other characters do.
All right, let's just end this here.
Look, once they get proper hair physics, we'll be fine. No game has proper. All right, where can we find you, Derek?
Find me at Cayman Second on everything.
All right, where can we find you, Sean?
You can find me at foreskinphysics.com. No, I'm kidding. You can find me at Mr. Urban Buddha on YouTube, Mr. Urban Buddha on Twitter, and Super Urban Buddha on Twitch.
And you can find me at I Press the Buttons on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You guys all take care, and it's always laugh at yourself. A death-rolling place without any trace.